Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Ramo Rajamani Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje Ramena Bihata Nishacharachamu Ramaya Tasmai Namaha. रामान्नास्ति परायणं परतरं रामस्य दासोऽस्म्यहं रामे चित्तलयः सदा भवतु मे भो राम मामुद्धर समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्. The text that we are going to start is called Dhanyashtakam. Ashtakam means 8 verses, and Dhanya means blessedness. Dhanya actually also refers to the one who is giving. Sometimes we say, Bhagwan, you are Dhanya. Bhagwan, you are Dhanya means you give in such a way that you are great and wonderful. Dhanya also refers to the feeling a person has who is on the receiving end. One who feels very blessed, that person says, I am Dhanya. Now there are different stages of Dhanyata, different ways people look at what is the meaning of being blessed. But the best person to tell us what is the true meaning of blessedness is none other than Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji. Because it is said, whichever subject matter we take, whenever we take opinions, when it comes from an expert, that opinion, that perspective has more weight. So casually, if you ask around what is blessedness, you'll get so many answers. If we ask ourselves, when do I think I am blessed? We will notice even there is a spectrum. Whatever goals we set when we were young, we thought fulfilling that, I'll be blessed. Slowly those goals evolved. As time passed by, we felt if I get this, I'll be blessed. So like this, there have been so many things which have been happening, and our definition of blessedness has kept changing. Even today, if somebody asks us, what is your definition of being blessed? We'll have some answer, but we ourselves feel that answer keeps evolving. One unique feature or few unique features when Mahatmas speak, that is, whatever they say, they never go back on it. Whatever they say, it remains uncontradicted. That is one uniqueness of Mahatma's words. You take any Mahatma, Ramana Maharshi ji for example, you will notice all these features in their speech. Whatever they say, they don't contradict. Means if they define dhanyata as something, after some days, after some years, they won't come back and change the definition. Or whatever they define, whatever, let's say, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi ji is talking about, once he has said it, there will be no going back on it. Second thing about Mahatma's words is, it is free from doubts. Whatever they are speaking, they don't have doubts about what they are saying. For a sadhaka, whenever we say something, whenever we think about something, we might have doubts. Is it this way or is it that way? Did I really define it well, or is there something more? But Mahatmas, when they speak, there are no doubts. First thing is, they don't contradict themselves. Second is, whatever they tell us, it is doubtless. Third is, whatever they are telling us, we will not get it anywhere else. That is one uniqueness of Mahatma's words. Whatever they are telling us, we will not find it in other places. It's available only through that Mahatma. And just look at the method of Ramana Maharshi's inquiry. The way he is pointing us to the truth, that is something that is available only through Bhagavan. And whatever he is saying, doubtless. And whatever he teaches does not contradict. And last is, he is not telling from hearsay. Somebody has told him and he is telling us. Or he read it somewhere and he is telling us. Whatever he is telling is something that he is seeing. Whatever he tells, it is something that he sees. That is the fourth attribute of Mahatma's speech. Apply all of these to Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji. If he is going to tell us about blessedness, what is Dhanyata? It is the most authentic knowledge we can get. We can be rest assured it will never get contradicted. Whatever he has mentioned as Dhanyata, whichever text you read, it will never contradict what Bhagavan mentions here as absolute blessedness. Second is, there are no doubts about what is blessedness. It's very clear and he will systematically lead us. No doubts about what is Dhanyata, how to attain it. And third is, what Bhagavan is telling here is unique to this text. You will not find it elsewhere. And last is, he has tasted Dhanyata and he is just telling us what is that Dhanyata. What is that blessedness? That's why their words have more power. Actually, power doesn't come because of language. Power comes because of the tapasya which is behind that language. Sisters and brothers of America. Very simple sentence, anybody can say. But the power that it evoked when Swami Vivekananda ji said it, that is not only the grammatical power. All his tapasya which is behind that speech, that is what leaves an impression on the minds of the listener. So Bhagwan Shankaracharya is going to tell us what is the true meaning of Dhanyata. What is the true meaning of blessedness and how should we attain it. But more we keep thinking about who Bhagwan Shankaracharya is. Our reverence in his text, our reverence in his words, our reverence in understanding Bhashya, that will keep deepening. Because he is somebody, if you just look at his compositions, 30 plus Prakarana Granthas, 65 plus Stotrams, commentaries on 10 major Upanishads, ब्रह्म सूत्र है, भगवत गीता है, विष्णु सहस्रनाम, सनत सुजाति है. All of that he has thoroughly seen, thoroughly evaluated. Now Bhagwan is telling in 8 verses, this is what you should focus on. That is another beauty of their teaching. They can do elaboration also, but they can precisely tell us what we should focus on. So Dhanyashtakam is one such text. In a very specific way it tells us, this is what will lead us to true blessedness. Make sure that you focus on these things. For example, Manisha Panchakam we saw in Thanksgiving camp last time. Now there might be so many things which are mentioned in Upanishads, Vedanta. But Bhagwan Shankaracharya in 5 verses tells what is the main conviction in all these texts of Vedantas. That is his power to align our quest. So here he is going to tell us in 8 verses what is the true meaning of blessedness. Now before we see the verse, we should pay attention to 4 types of seekers. This point we have seen before in several other texts, but here it will open up in a different way. The reason we are seeing these 4 types of seeker is, every seeker will have different definition of blessedness. Based on where that jiva is in his spiritual evolution, they will have their own definition of what I think is blessedness. The first person is called as Pamaraha. Pamara means one who wants enjoyment, one who wants to get some kind of bhoga, but he is least concerned about right and wrong. See, when we think, every jiva is included, we cannot exclude anybody. We just have to appreciate how our thinking has to evolve. So first sadhaka, or first person in the journey of spiritual evolution, is called as Pamara. Don't call sadhaka yet, because sadhaka will be separate category. Pamara doesn't care how the enjoyment comes, how the power position comes. He says, I will just go and get it. Now imagine or think about what that person's dhanyata will be. He says, if I got that object by breaking the rules and nobody saw me, he feels I am blessed. Something he smuggled and got somewhere and nobody caught, he says, I am so blessed that I got what I wanted. Remember, this dhanyata will not, what Shankaracharya is telling, it will not appeal to everybody. That's why we are giving this introduction. Based on our identity, based on our stage, we will have our definition of dhanyata. So for Pamara, whenever he gets sense objects, through whatever means, just getting it without ending up into problems, he feels that is my dhanyata. Second person in this journey is Vishayi. Vishayi also wants sense objects. Vishayi also wants enjoyments. But he follows the rules and then wants the enjoyment. He follows the rules, works hard, then gets the object of enjoyment. For that person, any material accomplishment, he says, I am blessed if I get it. Some power, some position. Everybody should be well-to-do. Relatives, friends. His main thought process is, I have worked hard, I got it, I am blessed. That is the second person, Vishayi. He is not doing anything unethical. Living a very ethical life, living a very moral life, works hard also. But his blessedness is only limited to getting things for himself. Now this person does some satsang. Bhagwan's grace comes to that person. From Vishayi he becomes sadhaka. From Vishayi he becomes sadhaka, where he gets this desire that mere work is not going to take me far. I have to pay attention to the one who is actually accomplishing all this work for me. His mind turns towards the Lord, who has an unseen hand in every work, in his own life and in the life of others. He starts feeling that there is some power which is taking care, and I have to seek that power. I have to become more devoted to Bhagavan. That desire, when it comes, that sadhaka feels blessed. Vishayi felt blessed when he got things. Sadhaka feels blessed when he gets vairagya. When he starts getting dispassion, he feels, Bhagavan, I am so blessed, you are giving all these qualities. In Vivek Chudamani, when the student goes to the teacher, first he goes with lot of problems. He tells, so many things are bothering me. Then finally he puts forth this question. Having bowed down to the teacher, puts forth this question. He says, please tell me that knowledge by which I will be free from this bondage. He has only asked his question. Teacher has not even started teaching. But teacher starts praising the student. Dhanyosi krutakrityosi, pavitam te kulam tvaya. He said, you asked this question that through knowledge how I should be free. That is all. You are dhanya, you are blessed. Not only you are blessed, you have purified your whole lineage. Yada vidya bandha muktya brahmi bhavitum ichchasi. He says, you want to remove ignorance and abide in your own true self. Because this desire has come, you are blessed. This is blessedness of sadhaka. His contentment or blessedness, he doesn't feel only because of sense objects. Whenever he is able to progress on the spiritual path, whenever sadhana chatushtaya comes to him, he feels very blessed. Parvati ji asking questions to Lord Shiva. Her question is, who is Bhagavan Rama? First thing Lord Shiva tells Parvati ji is, Dhanya Dhanya Giriraja Kumari. Tuma samana ko nahi upakari. He says, you are the most blessed person. You got this question about who is God. And not only he praises her, he says, there is nobody who has done greater favor than you to me. Because of you, I can start thinking about my Ishtadevata Bhagavan Rama. So whenever a student has this question that I have to seek something higher, that is his feeling of blessedness. What was the first one? Pamaraha. Second one was Vishayi. Third one was Sadhaka. Fourth one is Siddha. Siddha is somebody who has listened to the teaching carefully, put forth effort to change his lifestyle, and has come to abide in this knowledge. When he looks back at where he was and where this knowledge has taken him, that person says, I am blessed. This is one stage up. Parvati ji, when she gets this knowledge, she repeats the same line which Lord Shiva had told her. She says, Dhanya Dhanya Giriraja Kumari, Lord Shiva had said. Parvati ji also says, Dhanya Dhanya mein Dhanya Purari. He had said Giriraja Kumari, she says, "O Lord Shiva, I feel blessed because when I look back, I realize where I was caught, that bondage which was not there, in that I was caught thinking that I am bound." Somebody like Mirabai who says, "When I crossed the ocean of samsara, I turned back to see there was no samsara at all. फिकर न ही मोही तरन न की भवसागर तो सूख गयो." Initially, when I thought there was so much of samsara, it was all the projection play of the mind. And when this knowledge helped us transcend the mind, when that sadhaka remembers his stage of bondage and his stage of liberation, that remembrance brings this feeling of dhanyata. This in Vedanta is also called as pratyabhijna. Pratyabhijna means when we see that, let's take the example, there is a rope, you see that rope as snake. There is a stage when we are so afraid of that snake, sweating, panting. But once you understand nature of rope, and you see that snake, and you remember that there was a stage when I was bound by that snake, but now I am seeing the rope. This recollection is called as pratyabhijna. So there was a stage when he was bound by ego, bound by ahankara. He thought ahankara alone is real, world alone is real. But through this knowledge, he understood his nature to be Chaitanya. Abiding in that Chaitanya, he is still seeing ahankara. He is still seeing the world. But having abided there, he knows how he was bound at once and how that thing is negated. Means he understands that, really speaking, I was never bound. Because of wrong thinking, I thought I was bound. That rope never became snake, but because of wrong thinking, I thought it is snake. This, when he realizes, deep sense of gratitude comes to him. That is the fourth feeling of dhanyata. The point is, Bhagwan Shankaracharya in Dhanyashtakam is going to talk about third and the fourth one. So we can look at Dhanyashtakam as sadhaka feeling dhanyata, or Siddha Purusha telling how my journey was. Both ways we can look at it. Some new meaning will open up with both perspectives. Okay, this much introduction. Let us see the first verse. Tadjnanam prashamakaram yadindriyanam. You want me to split it into half? Okay. Tadjnanam prashamakaram yadindriyanam tadneyam yadupanishat sunischitartham tadneyam yadupanishat sunischitartham te dhanya bhuvi paramartha nishchiteha te dhanya bhuvi paramartha nishchiteha sheshastu brahmanilaye sheshastu brahmanilaye paribhramantah paribhramantah. Together. Tadjnanam prashamakaram yadindriyanam तज्ज्ञेयं यदुपनिषत्सु निश्चितार्थं ते धन्या भुवि परमार्थनिश्चितेहाः शेषास्तु भ्रमनिलये परिभ्रमन्तः. Bhagwan in 3 verses points out, those who have these 3 things, they are blessed. What are these 3 things? He says Jnanam. Jnanam means knowledge. Jneyam, what has to be known, object of knowledge. And third is Iha. Iha means actions. Those who have a specific knowledge, if you want to deepen it, say vision of life. Those who have a particular vision of life, they are blessed. Those who have known a particular thing, they are blessed. Those whose actions are a particular type, they are blessed. Jnanam, Jneyam, Iha. Now, what is this Jnanam? Please define. One of the most unique, beautiful definition of Jnanam is here. You will not find it anywhere else. By the way, the 4 things I mentioned, right, about the attributes of a Mahatma's words, does it ring a bell where we had seen it before? This is the definition of Prama. Prama means valid knowledge. It is abaditam, not negated. Asandigdham, doubtless. Anadigatam, you will not know it through any other means. And smruti vilakshanam. It's not something which is recollected. It is what you are seeing right now. Prama, these 4 things are 4 definitions of, 4 indicators of Prama. Mahatma's words are pramanika. Pramanika means it is also valid means of knowledge. So they will also have the similar shades, similar echoes of indicators of Prama. So now Bhagwan Shankaracharya is showing us Anadigatam, what you cannot see anywhere else, that he is defining here. Bhagwan says, Tad Jnanam Yad Indriyanam Prashamakaram. That is knowledge which quietens our mind and senses. Knowledge is that which quietens our sense organs and quietens our mind. Now, which knowledge is this? What is that Neyam? Second line it says, Tad Neyam Yat Upanishad Sunishchitartham. If you split it after Upanishad Su, it means in Upanishad whatever is conclusively taught. Yad Upanishad Sunishchitartham. Either you can say Sunishchitartham or you can say Upanishad Su Nishchitartham. Both are correct. What is knowledge? Knowledge is that which has been conclusively taught in Upanishads. Now, what is that thing which is conclusively taught in Upanishads? That is Mahavakya. The knowledge of our own true nature as blissful self and knowing the oneness, that this self is a substratum of this whole universe. This oneness is the main essence of Upanishads. The one who knows it, the result of that knowledge is mind and sense organs should become calm. One who knows the nature of self as the self of this whole universe, you see, that person will not run after anything in this world. Now connect this with Ishavasya Upanishad. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmanyevanupashyati sarvabhuteshu chatmanam tato navijugupsate. Yah tu sarvani bhutani, one who sees all beings in Atma. Atmani eva anupashyati. And sarva bhuteshu cha atmanam. He doesn't see other people as different from himself. He sees himself in everybody else. But what does that himself refer to? Shuddha Chaitanya. Not mind, not body. He sees whole world in consciousness and himself as the Atma of whole world. Tato na vijugupsate. Such a person doesn't get turned off with anything in this world. Means neither does he get agitated by the world, nor does he agitate the world. What has happened through knowledge is that result is quietening of mind and sense organs. This is a very good milestone for a spiritual seeker. If whenever we have doubts, right, have I understood Vedanta? Has Vedanta started working for me? Is a look at the first line. Has my mind stopped running outside? Has my mind and sense organs, have they stopped going after this world? Whenever that happens, or to the extent it happens, to that extent Vedanta has started working. That is this Mahavakya Bodha. Knowledge of Mahavakya, clarity in our own true nature. Tadneyam Yadupanishad Sunishchitartham. Two things done. What is the third thing? Third thing was action. Te dhanyaha bhuvi paramartha nishchita ihaha. Those people are blessed who transact in this world in the light of that knowledge. Paramartha nishchita means in their intellect, this knowledge has firmly taken roots. And their iha means actions. Their actions are in line with this knowledge. In other words, what we call as a Jivan Mukta. One in whose mind this knowledge is shining brilliantly. In the light of that knowledge, he is transacting in this world. Those people are blessed. Which category will you put this person in out of the four? Siddha. But we said we can also look at it from sadhaka standpoint. If you look at it from sadhaka standpoint, how will this line translate? Te dhanyaha bhuvi paramartha nishchita ihaha. Means those who have set Brahman as the goal, set self-abidance as the goal, and they do their vyavahara for paramartha. They do their transaction such that I should get a pure mind, beautiful mind. Work alone is not my goal. He says, through work I'll purify my mind and strive for self-abidance. Those who are able to do it, those sadhakas are blessed. We can do vyavahara for paramartha. Here it is said that person is blessed. All his duties, all his roles he is doing such that, Bhagwan, may I develop a pure mind. May I come to know you, may I come to abide in you. For that he is doing his vyavahara. There can be another person who does paramartha for vyavahara, who is seeking paramartha so that something he will get in vyavahara. But this person is not that kind. His vyavahara is for paramartha. His transactional life always is alert. There are so many labha, benefits that can come from work. One immediate benefit is external benefit. Paristhithika labha, situation can improve. objects can be purchased. It's a kind of gain. But in his mind, he's always paying attention to Adhyatmika Labha. Adhyatmika Labha means spiritual gain. Means if we got something materially, but if our desires increased, vasana increased, mind became stronger. Stronger means stubborn. He says, I have actually lost in that karma. So Bhuvi Paramartha Nishchita Iha means while he is doing his karma, he is very mindful. This particular interaction, this kind of speech, these kind of topics, are they going to help me spiritually or not? And slowly we'll realize, if we do this kind of screening, lot of Kamya Nishiddha will fall apart. In Vedanta we saw it, Vedanta Sara, 6 different types of karmas. 2 of them were Kamya and Nishiddha, desire prompted and forbidden. They creep into our life when we are not alert. That's why it is said, Pramado vai mrutyuh. Inadvertence is death for a spiritual seeker. Means whatever spark was kindled, that spark got blown away by these topics. Spiritual spark, whatever it was kindled with so much of effort, that he carelessly put outside. Means that lamp he put outside, the wind came and blew it off. So this line has lot of deeper meaning. Bhuvi Paramartha Nishchita Iha means he is a judge of his thoughts. Whatever thoughts about the world he catches or notices is again spiritual evolution. Those thoughts he puts lot of effort to stay away from. Taponji Maharaj has a quote where he says, whatever helps in spiritual evolution is worthy to be praised. Whatever helps us evolve spiritually is worth praising. Whatever devolves us is worth staying away from. I'm paraphrasing it. It's a stronger language that he uses. Whatever helps us in spiritual evolution is worthy of praise. Whatever devolves us, those kind of thoughts, those kind of topics, those kind of inputs from the world, this person stays away from. Sheshastu Brahmanilaye Paribhramanta. What about others? 3 indicators Bhagavan gave. Shankaracharya, he said, 3 people are blessed. Those who have knowledge that has quietened their sense organs, they are blessed. Those who have the knowledge of Upanishad Mahavakya, nature of the self, they are blessed. Those who are transacting in this world, either in light of that knowledge or for gaining that knowledge, they are blessed. What about others? Sheshastu Brahmanilaye Paribhramanta. Others are moving around in a maze. They are moving around in a maze. In some museums they have this maze where you go, you don't know where to exit. You enter and you feel you will get out. It's so confusing. Every door looks the same. Bhul Bhulaiya. Some homes are like that. But the thing is, it gives us a notion that I will escape. And you keep thinking that it's right here. I'll just go and I'll walk out. But you keep walking and walking and walking. You get tired, not going anywhere. Like that becomes our pursuit sometimes. If you have not set a goal in life, not doing our actions for that goal, and clarity of knowledge is not there, means we feel, I will do this and somehow I will be happy. I will do that and somehow I will be happy. And this continues forever. We think we are getting there, but not getting anywhere. Whenever we go on a pilgrimage, we walk. Yatra, we go, we have to walk or we have to go to that place. And while walking, every person gets tired. Whoever that person might be, wherever you walk, you will get tired. And the person who is going in Brahmanlaya is also walking. One who is caught in maze, he is also walking. He is also getting tired. What is the difference between both tiredness? So one person has a goal. One person has a goal. He knows where he is going. To reach there will be some tiredness. But second person is getting tired without knowing where he is going. One door he exits, another door he gets caught in. Next he hits a wall. Again another thing he takes out. Whenever examples are given, there is a reason why it is given. Shankaracharya could have used so many examples. But here Bhagavan says, Brahmanilaye paribhramanta. In this maze of samsara, this jiva gets caught. But the one who has known the nature of self, that person never gets deluded. Shiva Mahimna Stotram, there is one verse. Mahokshah katvangam parashurajinam bhasma phaninaha kapalam chetiyat tava varada tantropakarnam. This is Lord Shiva's description is given. What all things Lord Shiva has? He has an old bull, Mahoksha. Khatvanga. Khatvanga means one leg of a cart. Here we don't have those carts. India, the carts, they had 4 legs. One of the leg is there with Lord Shiva. Parashu, he has an axe, ajinam, deer skin, bhasma, all over his body. For food, what does he have? Kapala, skull. He says, these are your possessions. You live such an austere life. But if you want, you bless prosperity to even devatas. Then the last line is, Nahi swatma ramam vishaya mrugatushna brahmayati. The one who has understood the nature of self, that person doesn't get deluded by the glamour of the world. That is the first line. Tadjnanam prashamakaram yadindriyana. Okay, 3 things were mentioned. Those who have these 3 things, they are blessed. Jnanam, Jneyam, Iha. Very unique definition of Jnanam. Knowledge is that which quietens sense organs and mind. Indriyanam, we have to include mind also. Mind is the 11th Indriya. Manashashtani indriyani prakritisthani karishati. Manaha shashtani indriyani. So mind is the 11th sense organ. Means you have to include it along with sense organs. Mind and sense organs have become quiet. And Mahavakya Jnanam has become clear. What is the Jneya of Upanishads? Jneya of Upanishad is not only God. Jneya of Upanishad is not only Jiva. Jneya of Upanishad is essential nature of God is the essential nature of Jiva. Jney is Jiva Ishvara Aikya, Jiva Brahma Aikya. That has become clear, and all his transactions are for abidance, not for any other gain. This clarity one who has got. Bhagavan Krishna calls such a person in Bhagavad Gita as Vyavasayatmika Buddhi. Vyavasayatmika means one whose goal has become clear. You might see that person doing karma yoga. You might see that person going to work, doing all other actions. But if you ask that person, why are you doing it? He doesn't say for some material gain. He says, I am doing this so that I get abidance in this self. That is bhuvi paramartha nishchita ihaha. Now this is one layer of meaning, okay? One layer meaning if you take knowledge as the meaning of jnanam and niyam as the knowledge of nirguna brahma. Second layer of meaning is from bhakti standpoint. Same verse can be looked at from a devotional standpoint, where the first line, if you see, tad jnanam prashamakaram yadindriyanam. So jnanam here will be knowledge of Saguna Brahma. Knowledge of Bhagwan. What is that knowledge? When can I say I have understood or devotion is ripening for me? When anxieties of the mind and sense organs go away. When the mind doesn't feel anxious, this is that time you have understood the prabhava of the Lord, the power of the Lord. Tadnyeyam yad Upanishad sunishchitartham. About Saguna Brahma, there is a conclusive teaching given in Upanishads. What we are seeing in Kathopanishad right now, or in any other Upanishad. The knowledge of Saguna Brahma. That's also part of Upanishad. And it is conclusively explained what is the nature of Lord. The one who expresses as his whole universe in Bhagwan seeking Sharanagati. What is the result of that? It says the anxieties and agitations of the mind are quietened. This point is beautifully demonstrated in Srimad Bhagavatam. In the Leela of Kaliya Mardan, when Bhagwan goes to fight with Kaliya, the one who poisoned the waters of Yamuna river, very ferocious, venomous snake. That was the first time Bhagwan went without informing anybody. He did not inform, even Balramji did not take him along, just went there. And little boy, Bhagwan Krishna swims in the river. And Kaliya bites him on his chest. Looking at it, all other people faint there. Vrindavan Vasis, Gokul Vasis who had come there, all of them almost faint. And Nanda Baba is so afraid. Bhagwan has gone by himself and is projecting what all things might happen. He's such a little boy. There is one verse that Balramji says in Srimad Bhagavatam, Tan Satha Kataran Viksha, looking at them, shivering with fear. Bhagavan Madhavo Balaha, the strength of Madhava, the one who knows. Prahasya Kinchin no Vacha. Balramji just smiled, did not speak a word. Prabhavajnaha Anujasya Saha. Prabhavajna means one who knows the strength of Bhagwan Krishna. That is the key word there, Prabhavajnaha. Who is a devotee? Devotee is the one who knows the power of the Lord. Prabhava of the Lord, one who knows, and one who has built a bond with such Bhagwan. What is the result that he gets? Prashamakaram yadindriyana. His mind and sense organs become quiet. In the light of that devotion, his mind is free from anxiety. Either you look in Bhagavatam or in Ramcharitmanas, Ramayana. Sugriva being so afraid of Vali. First thing when Bhagwan comes, gives him a test and he clears that test. The line that Sugriva says is, Upaja Jnana Bachana Tapa Bola. Upaja Jnana is said. What is Jnana there? Not of Upanishad Jnana, Mahavakya Jnana. His Jnana is of power of the Lord. Nata Krupamana Bhayavalola. is Bhagwan, by your grace, my mind has become free from anxiety. That is this Tadjnanam Prashamakaram Yadindriyanam. How does such a person live? How is his actions like? His actions are as a bhakta. According to our identity, so we act. So this person's knowledge is Bhagwan is all pervading. I am nobody in front of the Lord. So all his actions are to please the Lord. As a devotee he acts. Te dhanyaha, they are blessed. Bhuvi paramartha nishchite ihaha. Keeping Bhagwan as the goal, those who are acting in this world, they are blessed. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he gives 3 indicators of a devotee. Mahatma's words, very specific they are. He says there are 3 indicators of a devotee. First one, he says, whenever this devotee listens to glories of the Lord, whenever he does Shravanam, his mind quietens as he does Shravanam. He says that is one sign of devotion, that as he listens to Bhagwan's glories, as he listens, his mind quietens down. He gives an example also. Just like the snake quietens down when it hears the snake charmer. Yes, our mind is like that snake. Devotee's mind calms down when he listens to glories of the Lord. Devotion not ripened, he says he will not get taste, no interest. That is the first one. Second, he says, devotee has developed the ability to assimilate instruction. He has developed the ability to assimilate instruction. Whatever instructions or scriptures are giving, not only he listens to it, but it leaves an impression on his mind. He listens, leaves an impression, and puts forth effort to work towards it. That is the second quality, he says. Develops the ability to assimilate instruction. The example he gives is of a photographic plate. In olden days, when they would take pictures, only 30 pictures you can take in that reel. And after that, it has to be taken to the studio. They'll put it in a solution. You can't just open it, expose it to light, all pictures gone. So appropriate lighting, you have to put it in a solution, then the image gets impressed on it. Like that, he says, devotee's mind is impressionable mind. Whatever instructions are given, scriptures will only say, be devoted to the Lord. Do upasana. Convert your actions into upasana. Convert your actions into devotion. They said and they moved on. Everybody listens, but impression is very different for every sadhaka. He says that is one quality of a devotee, that all injunctions of scriptures leave an impression. And third one, he says, devotee is somebody who has controlled lower impulses. He has put forth effort to control his baser, lower instincts. That is one insignia of a devotee. For that, he gives examples of gopis. He says they were free from all baser tendencies. One whose mind was so pure. That is the third indication. What is the first one? Mind calms down as he listens to Bhagwan's glories. For a long time he has done that. Like the snake calming down, listening to snake charmer. Second is, injunctions of Shastra leave an impression. Whatever he learns, he is able to live it. or he is inspired to live it. And the last one is all baser instincts are controlled. Those who are able to accomplish this on the strength of devotion, they are blessed. Te dhanyaha bhuvi paramartha nishchita ihaha. Sheshaha tu brahmanilaye paribhramantaha. If we don't do this, we will get lost in this maze of samsara. If you want to connect with Ishavasya, one who is able to live mantra number 3 to 8, that is the first meaning. Jnanam. Ishavasya midagam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. Tena tyaktena bhunjitaha. That is their transaction. If everything is Brahma, what are you holding on to? They renounce name and form. Mahagrudha kasya siddhanam. To whom does Mithya Jagat belong to? Remember, we had seen all these meanings. What are the two meanings of Mahagrudha kasya siddhanam? One is thinking world is real and then staying away from it with vairagya. Second is getting this knowledge. Other than Brahma, everything is Mithya. With that knowledge, not going after it, they are blessed. So mantra number 3 to 8 is the first meaning of Dhanyashtakam, verse number 1. Second meaning is the remaining verses, 9 through 18. Developing love for Saguna Brahma. What has it brought to them? All the anxieties of the mind have been quietened. And their transaction is as a bhakta. One thing to note here is, whatever we study, right, they are not talking about different things. They will talk about the same thing differently. So we should not feel, okay, Ishavasya Upanishad is over. 9th to 18th mantra was some upasana they spoke about. Karma, upasana samuchaya. I got very confused. And here they are talking about some other devotion. No, it is same devotion which was spoken there. That was a Vedic way. Here also it's the same thing which is spoken about. So either be a Siddha or be a Sadhaka. That is the injunction of our scripture. If somebody is Siddha, very well and good. If not Siddha, become a Sadhaka. Don't be a Vishayi, don't be a Pamara. Those who have become Sadhakas, they are Dhanya. Those who have become Siddhas, they are of course Dhanya. Now Bhagwan, you told us how to reach here or where we should reach. What are the steps to reaching there? How should we go step by step to reach there? That will be the next part of our discussion, which we'll see in the next session. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah.